Hey friends, this is Mrs. Wolfie from Our Half Acre Homestead with Frugal Living, your tips and ideas. Okay, here we go. Jude. Hi, I make my own buttermilk. I bought a small jug of buttermilk for $4. I know, last time I went to buy a quart of it, it was $4.79 here. And that was over a year ago. I bought a small jug of buttermilk and divided it into half-cup servings. I put it in small plastic containers with lids and froze it. When I need to make my own buttermilk, I take out one of the little frozen cubes and put it in the bottom of a quart jar. Then fill the jar the rest of the way with whole milk. Leave it for 12 to 24 hours in a warm place and you'll have your own homemade buttermilk. Buttermilk. It's called inoculating it. We do that with yogurt too, right? Buttermilk has gotten so expensive I can't buy it anymore. So doing it in this way saves me a lot of money. You can keep it going by taking out a half a cup of the buttermilk that you have just made and start a new quart jar. You can continue doing this indefinitely and you'll never run out of buttermilk. Aren't you brilliant, Jude? God bless you all. Jude from Kentucky. Thank you, Jude. Stephanie Alexander. If you don't save your juice from canned vegetables for soup, pour it over your dog food for added nutrition, or wet your chicken feed. Now, somebody talked about sprouting your chicken grain, and when it sprouts, it actually bulks up and makes it go farther. I don't know where that came from, but somebody correct me if I'm wrong. If bananas get too ripe, throw them in the freezer, skin and all. I do that. Skin will turn black, but banana makes great banana bread or cake or milkshake. I do that all the time. Whenever Howie doesn't eat the bananas fast enough, they go in the freezer as soon as they start to go brown. No need to waste it, and bury the skins. I like this. Bury the skins around your roses. They will just love you for it. And goats love fresh banana skins if you got goats. Well, thank you, Stephanie. Esther Ford, as I prepare ourselves for what is coming, there is one thing I was overlooking. I'm declutter things and getting rid of anything that is extra or just clutter we don't need. We talked about this the other day. That frees up room for essentials, making them easier to store and manage. When things get bad, I only want the things I love, plus the things I need to have a well-lived life. So many life skills I already have, but having a simple but beautiful home provides a soul rest we will need to get through. I don't need extras to dust and clean around. If you can sell some of it, it's a great resource and adds supplies to your storage. Isn't that exactly what I started doing this year with the local community yard sale? I got rid of a lot of stuff. Jude, sorry Mrs. V for leaving another comment, but I thought of something that is important to me and probably anybody else who gardens. Okay, this is for all your cactus and okra people, because I remember somebody telling me that the kids hated picking okra. Now I know why. Apparently they got stickers. I get cactus and okra stickeries on my fingers all the time, and they're very hard to get out, if not impossible. And they hurt. So you just have to kind of live with it. Well, not anymore. If the stickeries get in your finger, put a large drop. This is brilliant. Put a large drop of Elmer's glue on it, and then a small piece of paper towel just to cover the glue. Let that dry for about a half an hour. Make sure it's completely dry or it won't pull them out. Then just peel off the paper towel and the little stickeries will be gone. I hate getting those things. You're welcome, Jude from Kentucky. When you shower, this is from me. I have a lot of lime and calcium in my water. And I go through shower heads like every year. But what I learned to do is extend my shower head life by but from 1 to 3 years, just by when it starts to get, you know, where it's shooting off in this direction and not all the holes are showing water, tie a baggie over it full of vinegar so that it encloses the head. And that will, and leave it on there for like overnight if you can, but leave it on there for several hours. And then you just take the baggie off and dump that back into your cleaning vinegar jug, because I have a jug under my sink that I use only for cleaning. Dump that back into your cleaning vinegar jug, and your shower head will thank you by giving you much more spray value. And I extended mine from 1 to 3 years by doing that. The squirt top on dish detergent often fits bottles of other cleaners. If you want to directly squirt areas such as toilets, see, that's what I use my Dawn squirt bottles for. Also, you have mentioned the plastic mesh orange, lemon, lime bags can be rolled up and tied off with bread ties to make dish scrubbies. Keep on rolling, folks have forgotten how to stretch it and make do. And if you can crochet, just take the little metal ends and labels off of those onion bags, and when you have enough, crochet them into a scrubby. Karen Franklin, I use baking soda and water paste for shampoo. This is brilliant. Rub in thoroughly and then rinse out with cool to warm water. Wring out your hair and then pour about 1/4 cup of apple cider vinegar and massage all through your hair and scalp. Let sit for a few minutes. Rinse with cool, warm water. Best shampoo conditioner my grandma taught me to use. Been doing this for 40 plus years and now never buy shampoo or conditioner at the store. I have long blonde hair to my waist and no tangles, knots whatsoever. Well, I'll tell you what, Karen, I accept that challenge. I accept that challenge because I get, every once in a while, I use Dawn and vinegar in my hair. Well, if I can do baking soda, that's even more natural, right? And I remember every once in a while, my mother would give my hair a water and lemon or water and vinegar rinse, something acidic, and then get me to sit in the sun. My sister's hair was much more blonde than mine. DNA Books and Music. New sub here. Well, welcome aboard. Please keep making these videos. One thing that is on my mind to stock up on is seeds. We have many farmers not planting this year. Now listen carefully. So where are the new season seeds going to come from? I'm saving all my non-GMO heirloom seeds that I can this year and stocking up. I go to estate sales and I go to the kitchen pantry, bathroom, and garbage first. I'm able to find all kinds of household things for pennies on the dollar, while everyone else is looking at the high dollar collectibles and antiques. Smart girl. I'm filling bags with screws, nails, cleaners, foil wrap, garden things, and so on. Also, please look for construction sites around your area. They throw away so much. Ask the foreman for scrap wood and other things before it goes into their construction dumpster. We were blessed with a half truckload of 2x4s recently. DNA Books and Music. Wow, that's good stuff. Andrea, don't like the smell of vinegar? Try some dissolved citric acid Fruit Fresh in these tips. Also, I found that it cleans my stainless steel almost as good as oven cleaner, but no smell. I have citric acid, I believe. So there you go. If you have no way of cooking, you can use a large cap filled with alcohol, place under a grill. It burns and can be used to cook something. You can do that. You know what? You can do that with 90 proof alcohol and cotton batten and in a tuna tin. You can do that. But I recommend you guys all looking up our rocket stove. How he built me a rocket stove to cook on when we were at the camp. You can make a ready-made hand washing station from an empty bottle of laundry detergent. Works best if it's the kind with a spout. There's always residual liquid left. Fill with water and you have instant hygiene water. Use it if you lose power and need to wash your hands. Also great for gardening. Just tie an old dish towel to the handle. Ta-da! Nice, future folk. Linda Cooler. Save your orange peels. I forgot. You know what? I forgot. I've done this, and I do it in the winter when I get lots of clementines and oranges. Save your orange peels, place in a jug filled with vinegar, and let set 2 weeks. Then place in a spray bottle, use for cleaning or bug spray. Works great. Okay, this is a story, so I'm gonna just read it to you guys. There was a cute elderly couple I met, and we did some work together. Week after week, we would chat about our weekends, and the lady would say to her husband, "Well, honey, tonight's corn night." And he would chuckle and agree with her. And I'm adopting this because I love it. This went on for weeks, always corn night on Friday night. After a while, I mentioned that I never met anyone who ate corn as much as they did in a month. They both began to laugh so hard at my remark and couldn't stop. I said, "What's so funny?" They said, "Corn stands for something else. Clean out refrigerator night." And they did it faithfully, saved a lot on their groceries even then. Maybe we can be converts too. That was wonderful. I don't know who wrote that. I have no idea. Oh, it was Middle East Millie. Middle East Millie. If I got my pages in the right order. Oh, this is something I remembered too. Back when we lived in Colburn, there was a thrift store that supported Big Sisters, the Big Sisters Society. And it was like a charitable organization. And they would, people would send in clothes and books and lamps and dishes and stuff like that. But it was mostly clothes and books. And I went in there one day. And there was a few thrift stores that if clothes didn't sell or the fabric wasn't favorable, they would wait. And when it came time for the death because of the clothing, because nobody wanted it, they would cut it into squares, take a sheet out of the pile and a blanket out of the pile, and they would tie quilts and sell them for $20. It was brilliant. But the other thing they did was, if the knitted cable sweaters and stuff, the thicker knit sweaters and stuff, whenever one came in and nobody bought it after a certain amount of time, they just took the collars off them because they're knitted as a knitting machine, and they opened the seams and they unraveled these sweaters and put them into balls. And how I found this out is I was looking at the side, and there was a big bag of blue balls of yarn, but they weren't commercially wound. And I said, "You got a lot of these bags." They were like $5, right? And I said, "Where do you get these?" And they said, "We unravel old sweaters nobody buys." Thrift stores, people, thrift stores. I have one for you ladies. I wear bras with stays in them. It's so annoying when one breaks. I used to work at a fabric store, and what's available won't work. I realized if I saved the old bra, I could reuse the broken stays or slides to repair, like the underwire or the ones that go up the side, I imagine. The bras are so expensive. With all the undies being made overseas, look up patterns on YouTube and learn how to make your own. I didn't have extra money for patterns as a transfer, so I made my own using newspaper and old clothes. P.S. Get inexpensive knits on sale, no matter what print or solid, to make undies. I found the elastic at a thrift store for 70 cents. If no treadle machine, learn how to sew by hand. And you know what makes great undies? Old cotton t-shirts. Even if they got a hole or they're ripped, you're bound to get one pair of underwear out of a large t-shirt. So, before my parents, this gets the frugal one of the day, okay? Before my parents could afford a fridge, I remember Mom would keep bottles of milk in cold water in a galvanized bucket with a damp cloth draped over it. To soften margarine or butter was only for special occasions. In the winter, she would gently beat it with a rolling pin. Each morning, she would sieve the ashes in the grate to save any pieces of coal or charcoal that hadn't burned through. Handkerchiefs were boiled in a large old saucepan and stirred around with a pair of wooden tongs. There is some old school shit for you. Besides using old canning, now this is a cute one too, and our last one for the day. Besides using old canning flat lids as shiny spinning deterrents in the garden, I put them on my blackcurrant bushes to keep the birds away. I've seen that people are painting them and decorating them for Christmas ornaments and decorations. Adorable. And somebody else said that somebody was using the K-cups from their husband's coffee to make Christmas ornaments too. This is Mrs. Fulfy from Our Half Acre Homestead saying thank you once again for giving us ideas for our Frugal Living weekend series. Take care. God bless. Keep those ideas coming. Isn't it awesome? Isn't it just wonderful how we can support each other in such a basic humanitarian way? Right? I love you guys. Mwah! Take care. And remember, folks, if you're a home canner and you're not trying 4 jars canning lids, you are missing out. These are heavier than any other disposable lid on the market. They are a U.S. company, and if you order over $100, your shipping is free. Check in the description box below this video for a link to 4 jars canning lids and use the coupon code HALFACRE, all one word in capital letters, for 10% off. Check them out on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok for ideas and recipes. 4 jars canning lids, you can't go wrong.